I like cake, and that's no secret, all shown in my best work of all time, so this whole Don't Stuff Together run is just for cake. Step 1. Like all professionals, I chose Wilson Percival Higsbury as my champion, a character so pure and so fancy that the creators granted a middle name, a privilege given to none others. Step 2. The moment I joined, I swept the entire vicinity glisten clean to gather anything that'll aid my journey. Now, leaving nothing for other survivors is against code of ethics, but this world was conceived in a fashion privy to none, and just to make sure, I removed all the friends from the list so they won't accidentally stumble upon. Step 3. You know what they say, you need chock full of hogs for chock full of logs. The easy part was gathering minimum wage workers who'll do anything for some morsel donated by less fortunate souls. The hard part was making sure that the pigs keep their hands, hooves, or whatever appendages to themselves and not on my nuts. Step 4. Unfortunately, it was unlikely that the pigs could directly help me gather minerals. They did, however, distract the bastards that stood between me and the rocky stash. No hazardous pay was needed, since all pigs had healthy xenophobic tendencies. Step 5. After firing the rest of my employees, I constructed the science machine, which allowed the construction of the alchemy engine using ingredients I extracted from 2 pig houses, which were conveniently unoccupied for reasons I knew not. Step 6. Sticks and stones were prepped for pot, but gathered charcoals I did not. But I knew exactly where I could generate some, and then it was easy as burning the entire forest. Sure, one must never cause a forest fire deliberately, but since I was in a private world and the forest was full of spiders, it was absolutely justified. Step 7. With the pot ready, my next task was to gather ingredients, and each of them had to be the best of the best. In other words, it would have been absurd to use any crops grown out of a pile of shit. Logically, the freshest corn is always available at sea, practically swimming, and luckily there were many conveniently empty houses that paved my way to the salty waters where I snagged that corn cod with my rod. Step 8. Obviously, no common twig was suited for my ultimate cake, so I had to dig deeper, literally, and venture into the dark and perilous lands of the ruins, where I wandered the labyrinth till I found a weapon that had been crafted by the once member of the ancient civilization, kept in the cursed chest for years too many for me to grasp. So, using the same magic that doomed the ancient ones, I dismantled that spear into its purest state, and just like that, I had the perfect twig for my cake. Step 9. As for the drop of honey, I knew that the most pristine sweetness was dripped from nowhere but Her Majesty's luscious booty. Although the Queen mistook my actions to be a seductive one and invited me to her orgy, I respectfully declined since there was a more pressing matter. Step 10. With 3 essential ingredients in hand, I needed the 4th one, the filler, and when it came to fillers, nothing could best the rarest plant of the entire continent, the mandrake. The sole danger was the chance of the dish becoming no cake but a worthless bowl of soup, and since chance was an expertise I could never master, this was indeed the most intense and the riskiest part of my journey. Fortunately, Miss Lady Luck smiled upon me, and there it was, the ultimate cake. Though it looked more like a snack I mustn't name for a trademark reason, it was still a cake. Like they always say, if it's called cake and doesn't look like cake, it's cake.